When our cells get infected with viruses, one component of our immune system that helps us is something called interferons. So most of the time when a virus infects a cell, that cell in your body is usually doomed for destruction. But before it dies, it sends out a warning, kind of like sending out a big signal, and that signal is called interferons. Interferons are proteins and they're made by our own cells, and they're some of the most powerful antiviral tools in our immune system. So interferons are proteins that are part of our innate immune system. It means they're part of the immune system that we're born with that acts very quickly, and they are released by cells that are infected with viruses. So viruses like coronaviruses or influenza viruses or other viruses. And these proteins, these interferons, they don't kill the virus directly. Instead, what they do is they get released by a cell that's infected, and they warn nearby cells and they prepare them to defend themselves. So they're kind of like these neighborhood alert signals, and they tell all the cells around them that, hey, there's a virus around and get ready, and kind of like walk yourself so viruses don't infect you. And the reason why they're called interferons is because interferons interfere with the ability of viruses to make copies of themselves, or what we call viral replication. So scientists discovered these a long time ago, and they realized that interferons could help cells resist infection before a virus could spread further. There's different types of interferons, and there's three main types, but the most important for this lesson are type 1 interferons. This includes interferon alpha and interferon beta, and these are produced by almost any cell that gets infected by a virus. They act fast to block viral replication. There's type 2 interferons. This is interferon gamma, and these are made mostly by white blood cells called T cells and natural killer cells, and they boost immune activation and they help kill infected or abnormal cells. There's also a type 3 interferon, but for now, just remember type 1 interferons are our body's antiviral signal alarm. So interferons, the way that they work is once interferons are released, we have cells, they get infected, interferons get released, and then there's nearby cells, and cells have receptors on them. So interferons bind to receptors on neighboring cells, and they cause these cells to make antiviral proteins, which interfere with how viruses copy themselves. So it's like telling the cell, if you get infected, shut down your machinery so that not more cells are made. They also help increase MHC expression. This helps cells show viral proteins to our white blood cells, to T cells, so our adaptive immune system knows who's infected. And they also activate immune cells, especially natural killer cells and macrophages. These cells start killing infected cells early before antibodies and other parts of our immune system come in. So interferons are very important, and one reason they're very important is because viruses cause very quick infections, and viruses can replicate within hours of infecting a cell, and interferons are one of the few things that our body can release almost instantly to slow down viral infections. So we have good parts of our immune system like antibodies and T cells, but interferons are a very quick, efficient response. And without interferons, viruses would spread almost unchecked very early, and something like a flu could kill you. So to put this all together, some viruses, if we think in medicine, viruses have evolved where some viruses try to block interferon production because they know that it's not good for them. So COVID, for example, it's caused by a virus. It has proteins that try to stop interferon release. There's also some autoimmune conditions like lupus that have too much interferons. And then in medicine, we've also used interferons as drugs to treat things like hepatitis and certain cancers. So even though interferons were discovered a really long time ago, they're still very important to understand how infection happens, specifically how viral infection happens. So interferons are essentially proteins that are made by infected cells, cells that are infected by viruses, and they warn nearby cells to slow viral replication, and they activate our immune cells, our white blood cells. Type 1 interferons, alpha and beta, act fast. Type 2 interferon, gamma, boosts our immune responses. And they're part of our innate immunity, but they also help kind of bridge that gap to adaptive immunity. So that's interferons.